1,500 years ago, the civilization of Europe was in a serious crisis. The year 451, in particular, was a very troubled year for the Christian world. Attila the Hun, the father of all terrorists, was advancing on Rome from the north. Barbarians were invading from the south. Public safety, the economy, and the government were unstable. There was a sense of impending doom. Today we often say, times are tough, life is difficult. In 451, people could rightly say, times are terrible, life is a disaster. The Christians in Rome who filled St. Peter's Basilica for midnight Mass that year were fearful and frightened. Pope Leo the Great, one of the great religious and civil leaders of all time, rose to the occasion and delivered a Christmas sermon for the ages. It was a message for his world. It is also a message for our world. Pope Leo said, "It is unlawful to be sad on Christmas. It is against the law of God and against the law of our nature to be anything but joyful on Christmas." Recalling the birth of Christ should flood the heart with such joy that every sadness is swept away. Now, those are nice, pious words, but when life is difficult and people are troubled, what is the cause for joy? Whether in that turbulent 5th century or this troubled 3rd millennium, what is the cause for joy on Christmas? Secular thinkers might suggest the contagious goodwill of the season, the kindness of many to the needy, the joy of family gatherings. Those are good reasons. Pope Leo's message was different. Pope Leo the Great said, "Be joyful on Christmas because God, in his great love for us, stooped to share in our nature, so that we are lifted up to share in his nature. We have a new life in Christ." Be joyful, everyone, whether you are a saint, a sinner, or a pagan. If you are a saint, rejoice, for you are drawing nearer to your crown. If you're a sinner, rejoice, for you are offered forgiveness. If you are a pagan, rejoice, for God calls you to a new life. That bears repeating. If you are a saint, rejoice, for you are drawing nearer to your crown. If you are a sinner, rejoice, for you are offered forgiveness. And if you are a pagan, rejoice, for God calls you to a new life. Your first instinct on hearing that might be to classify yourself either as a saint or more likely a sinner or perhaps even a pagan. But the truth is that in all of us there is a bit of each. Something of the sinner, something of the saint, and something of the pagan unbeliever. Today each has a cause for joy. The saint in you, the sinner in you, and the pagan in you. There is goodness in every life. So there is something of the saint in you. Let the saint in you rejoice. For because of Christmas, your every act of kindness to others draws you nearer to the God who became one of us. There are also mistakes in every life. So there is something of the sinner in you. Let the sinner in you rejoice. For the Christ child offers forgiveness and allows you to begin anew today. And there are doubts in every heart, something of the pagan in everyone. Let the doubter in you rejoice. For the birth of Christ is a rebirth of faith, which calls you to a new spiritual life. So rejoice today, whether you are a saint, a sinner, or a pagan. Joy to the world, the Lord has come. Let heaven and nature sing.